Typically, we think of a signal as a time series, that is, a sequence of values at a particular instant of time. So, why do we need a frequency domain representation? We will learn shortly. Let us take an example of a function f of t. It's a time series function, say it's a random function. So, in time series, we are interested in a particular instant of time. Say for t equal to t naught, we would have this amplitude. To explain further, let us look into a freeware software Audacity to get a better grip of time series as well as the need for a frequency domain representation. In this demonstration, I'm going to use Audacity, that is the free software, and specifically what I'm going to do is I'm going to record my voice and I'm going to superimpose my voice with another signal, external signal, that would be at 6 kilohertz. So my own voice is incapable of generating sound signals above 4 kilohertz. So this 6 kilohertz is superimposed on my own voice. So let's see how it would react. So right now, the Audacity is recording my voice, and at the same time, I'm going to generate the noise signal at 6 kilohertz, and then I'm going to stop it, and then I'm going to stop the recording. So this whole signal is a time series signal, and in this range, I have generated an external sound of 6 kilohertz. So in time series, both the signals, my voice and the signal, which is a single tone signal, are superimposed. So in the time domain, we cannot distinguish between the two signals. However, if we look into analyze and plot spectrum, so in the frequency analysis, on the x-axis we have frequency, and on the y-axis we have the magnitude content of that frequency. For example, the amplitude that is stored for a particular frequency. So as I mentioned, that the human vocal cords are from at low frequencies, usually from 100 hertz to 4 kilohertz. But at the same time, the external sound from an external device, from my cell phone, which was basically at 6 kilohertz, is over here, right? So this peak is coming from the external sound. So in the time domain, we were unable to distinguish between my own voice and the superimposed signal. But in the frequency domain, we are able to distinguish. So let me just keep this and delete rest of the stuff. Next, let us select all of these values by using Control A, and then we will go to Effects, and then we will find a low pass filter, which is over here. So since I mentioned that beyond 4 kilohertz, the audio signal is not there, so it's all noise. So let us just filter out all the frequencies beyond 4 kilohertz. You can observe the difference in the waveforms. So if we again analyze using the plot spectrum, you can see that this peak has reduced considerably. So in short, we have suppressed the unwanted signal by means of a frequency domain analysis. So we could not do it by means of time domain or the time series signal, but we can do it in frequency domain. So we have three fundamental reasons which necessitate the need for frequency domain representation. The first of which is representation as a sum of sinusoid. So by this, what we mean is that, say we have a time series signal, we can decompose this signal into its frequency components. That is, you can have a low frequency, and then we can have a high frequency component. So say this is operating at f1, that is the frequency is f1, and this is operating at say f2. This has an amplitude of a1 and this has an amplitude of a2. So if we add these two signals together, so we would have the third signal. So mathematically speaking, what we can write is we can write a1 and say this is a cos function, so we would have cos 2 pi f1t plus this signal. Again, say this is a cos function and it is having an amplitude of a2, so a2 cos 2 pi f2t. So if you add this signal with this signal, so eventually you would get this signal. So by this what we mean is that if you have a periodic signal, we can break that signal into simple sinusoids, and these simple sinusoids, if you can add them together, you would come back to this signal. This is the concept of Fourier series, and we would look more into it as we proceed further in this course. Over here we have function f, and this is a function, and these are the sinusoids that I was mentioning earlier, and this is our trigonometric Fourier series. So over here we have decomposed or synthesized this signal into all the frequency components, and each frequency has its amplitude, which is represented over here, right? So this is a frequency domain with a given amplitude. So time series plot and frequency domain plot. So the second item is that linear systems are easy to analyze using frequency domain analysis. For example, if you have a car and you have found out all the differential equations, it would be quite tricky if you give in an input and say that input x of t could be a speed breaker or something. So how the car would behave? So this thing would be quite difficult to analyze and understand in the time domain. However, if you go to the frequency domain, the things would be quite simpler. That is, you can find the transfer function h of s. So if we take the Laplace transform of the input x of t, so we would have x of s, and then if we multiply it with h of s, so we would have an output y of s. So by taking the inverse Laplace transform, again we would have the signal in time domain y of t. And the third point is that the frequency domain lets us control linear systems. So by this, what we mean is that we can adjust the compressor efficiency based on our needs. We can control heating. We can use the cruise control in our cars, or we can simply control our aircraft. So these things can be done by looking into the criteria of stability in frequency domain, a thing that we would also take up in this course. Thank you.